Wow, guys, I feel like the Lord just gave me a whole new set of revelation on a video that I posted about 3 weeks ago pertaining to London falling and, most importantly, Guy Fawkes. So I don't in particular think that he was alluding to London initially. I think that he was showing me signs of London so that when I saw Guy, I would go directly to Guy Fawkes. So what did I say I saw before I saw the license plate that said Guy on it? I saw a bumper sticker that said evolved. So it was like an evolved Guy Fawkes. Well, just this morning, I got even more revelation from that, because in that video I said that the mask that they use for V for Vendetta, that whole movie is based off of Guy Fawkes, who is an actual person, right? So it just made me realize that, okay, what's the nowadays, aside from movie V for Vendetta, how about the cyber group that uses his mask, and the cyber group, the hacktivist group named Anonymous? Well, what do? They infiltrate and cyber hack governmental databases, right? So I'm thinking that what he was alluding to was an evolved Guy Fawkes. But so we've got like the original Guy Fawkes, right? And then we've got the V for Vendetta Guy Fawkes, and then we've got the anonymous cyber hacking group Guy Fawkes. So what is the evolved Guy Fawkes? This has to be big. This has to be explosive. This has to be an evolved version of a cyber attack. And then, swirling around in conspiracy theorist, pages and things like that, we're talking a lot about the possibility of there being like an EMP attack that could happen. And I just got led by another woman in Christ, her site, and she's a prepper, and her and her husband came across a 2013 movie called Dragon Day. If you haven't seen that, I would suggest that you watch it, because it is very telling of like the times we're living in right now. And it was made in 2013. It's kind of a little quirky and cheesy, but it's actually a pretty decent movie for what it's worth. And it is about China basically doing almost kind of like an EMP. They shut down everything, which essentially brought everyone back in the US 50 years. Cars died, they turned off the water, and all of this to enact their Freedom Republic that they were, China was taking over the US. And if we know anything, China already owns the US. We're indebted to them so much that, it comes a time, like they say in the movie, it comes a time for them to come and collect on what they owe. Like if you owe someone for your car and you haven't been paying them, they have the right to come and repossess that vehicle, right? So they have the right to come and repossess this land as a payoff for the debt that we owe. So it's extremely insane to think about, but putting it all together and thinking that an evolved Guy Fawkes scenario would be like the anonymous group, but times 1,000, you could totally relate that to being like an EMP attack, an electromagnetic pulse attack, which would literally shut down everything. None of our electronics would work. You wouldn't have your car, you wouldn't have your cell phone, you couldn't use your your any ATM, any card or anything like that. So it's really good to like have cash on hand, but there'd be like a lot of looting, a lot of people going crazy because a lot of people haven't heeded the warnings of, you know, people who have been getting visions and dreams and things of famines and words from the Lord and things like that. And people are not taking heed to it and they're not following. So a lot of people won't be prepared and a lot of people will perish. And it literally prophesies that in the Bible, and we are in the end times. So it's just insane to think about. But that was just an extension of the video that I had already posted and a little bit more clarity behind it now that I'm getting it. But I hope you guys are all blessed today and have an amazing day.